Hello guys, welcome to the Train Parrot. And as I promised yesterday, I was gonna do an altcoin video reviewing the coins that you guys are requesting. We got so far 15 people requesting the coins. I'll let you know if I think those coins are bullish, where are the areas of support resistance, whether we already missed out on a breakout or we are about to experience a breakout. We look into the delta of longs versus shorts. Guys, if this is the type of content that you like to watch, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. And I really want to know if you want me to keep focus on just Bitcoin or if you also want me to sometimes make some videos on altcoins. So make sure that if your interest is on altcoins, that you're giving this video a like. In general, if we get over 100 likes, I will continue to deliver this type of content. The first coin that we're gonna cover is Internet Computer, ICP. ICP on the weekly is currently having a local breakout. What is the difference between a breakout and a local breakout? When you have a local breakout like this one that you have here, you're not taking in consideration the actual top of the RSI. If we took the top of the RSI, the trend line will force us to break out from a higher level of the RSI. But if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm not only interested in the global breakout, and the local can also give us a lot of value. Why? Because from a local breakout, we could start speculating that our next target is this as a resistance. So getting to an RSI of 54 on the weekly for ICP is the first step to take towards a global breakout. Global breakouts are the most significant ones. For example, in here we had one with a retest, and that gave an incredible return of 600%. Whereas if we only focus on this local breakout towards 54 on the weekly, that could take the price of Internet Computer to slightly above $11. Now you might be thinking, why am I watching this video just to know that the price is gonna get to $11 when a few months ago we were already at $20? And it's a total fair question. Because if we manage to first do the local breakout and get to $11, we are doing something huge. We are completing a double bottom formation for ICP right above this support in here that we built during 2023. And to me, that is huge. We need to get above the $11. Hopefully, if we can get as close as possible to that $12, because that will confirm a breakout from the double bottom formation that we have here. That double bottom formation has a target of the whole high of the structure, which literally takes you into $20. Once you are back into the $20, we can continue going further beyond. Let's emphasize as well the risks. The trade is on the breakout. At this point where we are right now, we are kind of in the middle of nowhere, because the price could come back below here and completely spoil the double bottom formation. Sure, we could build a triple bottom or something like that, but that's where you start entering into a gray area and we start losing that confidence that such a beautiful double bottom formation could give most of the investors on a weekly time frame. Another reason to kind of be a little bit more cautious right here with an entry at these prices is because the delta is showing us that it's reaching the top level of longs that it can accept based on the statistics of the past months. You can see in here we built a double top around the 15th of July. That is what caused this sellout on the daily from around $11 back to where we are now, $6. And we are right there at the moment where we decide whether this move on the daily is a dead cat bounce or if we are going to continue going forward and completing that double bottom formation. What I would like to see is the price to remain a little bit longer in here. Why? Because if we remain at these prices without going to the bottom end at $6 and still we get rid of all those excessive longs, if they give up, if they freak out and we drop in the amount of longs, let's say to 30, 40%, somewhere in this area here, then we got room for longs to step back in and push the price towards the neck of the weekly breakout zone. Let's review now the next coin, which is SEI or SEI. You can see we've been looking for quite a similar pattern. In this case, it's on the daily chart. And the notes I left in the chart from before was my wish that we could get to $0.43 to complete once again a double bottom formation. This one in particular, you can see that has a lower RSI, meaning that we have built quite a strong foundation with a bullish divergence. We can also see that we produce a global breakout on the RSI on the 8th of August, and we are getting to the top of the range of the RSI slightly at around 65. This is a higher high compared to this one, but the price hasn't done it. So SEI is having a little bit of turmoil to be able to complete this. And one way of confirming is this move has come to an end, or if we can continue going higher to finally complete that double bottom, is if we see the RSI come close to here and then bounce back up. That will mean that we are still in an uptrend for the daily. We were in a downtrend, but thanks to this moving here, we are putting higher lows. We still don't have a higher high, so that is the next thing for SEI to convince investors. You can also see that the longs are stepping in with the last news coming from monetary policy. On the weekly, things look pretty interesting for SEI. You can see that the price has confirmed a breakout above the trend line, and that happened last night, but actually the RSI 1 week before will have already broken out. So if you were monitoring the breakout on the RSI, you will be 1 week ahead of the rest of the investors, which is why I keep trying to tell people monitor the momentum as much as you monitor the price. Confluence is the best, but momentum precedes price. Therefore, it's worth keeping an eye as well on it. The next area of resistance for SEI is going to be at $0.44, followed by $60, which we can see was support multiple times and then became resistance. And of course, then we can start talking about new all-time highs later on. But this sort of breakout in here is extremely promising. You can tell that this is the largest green weekly candle that we have had in a long time, possibly since December 2023. Going to the next coin called Wild, you can see that in this case we have a different scenario. We don't have a breakout yet on the price, but the momentum has already broken out. The price is still in progress to confirm that breakout, and on the daily the longs are at 40%, meaning that the investors of Wild are less confident than the previous two tokens that we just reviewed recently. Obviously, the next important level is to break above $2 because that is the resistance coming from the weekly price action. We have $3, but right before that, I will say that $2.6 is the most important level to watch. If Wild suddenly became more bearish and saw a rejection on this trend line, the next level of support is located at around $1.2, followed with $1. When we look at the weekly RSI on Fetch, you can see that we already have a global breakout on the 8th of July. Fetch, relative to the previous coins that we review, is the one that has shown the most strength, not just on the RSI by having that earlier breakout and then later on having a second layer breakout on the 12th of August, also global one. But as well, if we focus on the price, you can see that we have broken above the range in here. We are defining already a new range price discovery, but on this bull flag, we seem to be coming to confirm the retest. That retest hopefully should hold the $0.8. If we place a trend line, we can see that the bull flag is right there testing the resistance on the price. But we have already the corresponding close of the breakout on RSI. So if the whole market remains healthy, it's very likely that we're going to start testing the next levels of resistance right above the trend line breakout. The next level that we need to be looking into is $1.7, followed by 2.1, 2.5, 2.8, and 3.2. Our next coin is a meme coin called PEPE, And you can see it's very difficult to do a global breakout from here. We are quite far from doing such a thing. We will need the weekly RSI to get into 70. Probably by then, this will print another all-time high in order to achieve it. So we're going to have to go with a local breakout in here. And you can see that we had a breakout last night, and now we are pointing down potentially for a retest. The target is most likely somewhere around the 70s on the RSI, so I'm going to immediately proceed to put the number in the reverse engineer RSI. So here's the thing, guys. If we were to get to the top of this range, the target from this breakout that we're having today has a huge reward. Of course, it comes with a huge risk as well. And let's look at that reward coming from the reverse engineer RSI. Getting to an RSI of 70 on the weekly will take us approximately to $0.11 on PEPE. That is just mind-blowing. That is assuming that the RSI goes into 70s very quickly, at a speed similar to what we had here in just a few weeks. I don't think there is anything wrong with the indicators, and I don't know if I can really trust this forecast, but this is giving us over 1,000,000% returns, which is crazy. But the returns so far on the coin are 1,500%, and that happened in 100 days. So I might as well buy a few $100s of PEPE and just forget about it and put an alert if the prices start to show such a huge pump. I take profits, and if not, I just consider it a small loss. The next coin was another suggestion from one of you guys. Of course, this is people that shared their suggestions, like Daniel, and he actually reposted the tweet following all the instructions, so congratulations, because now we are going to review your coin. When it comes to the weekly price action of ONDO, you can see that currently the support is approximately at $0.6. We're bouncing off in here just like we did in April, and that level became resistance in March 2024, and we've been building this downwards momentum in here, and we might be in the process of challenging the downwards sloping trend line. So the first question I'm going to ask myself, what's going on with the RSI here? Have we already broken above it? Is it pointing towards it as a resistance? Let's have a look. And since this is a coin that hasn't got a very long history, but just enough for us to place a trend line, you can see that last night we closed right at resistance, and this weak candle is in the process of confirming a potential breakout. So we are earlier than other coins that have already confirmed it on RSI, and some of them have already broken out even in the price. On the 5th of August, people went quite long in here, but now it seems to be not attracting as many longs, coming back to these lower levels of much healthier, if you ask me, than buying on the 14th of August. The thing is currently worrying me about this price action is that if you take this price action in here and I overlap it with the most recent price action, it's looking a little bit bearish, particularly because it's not holding as well the 0.73, which it should be doing on the daily. Right now it's below that level, so let's hope that today we bounce off this level and we start doing some price action that comes into the resistance and above the level of 0.78, which is our next level of resistance on the daily. The things that are currently bullish on the price action is that on the daily, 2 days ago, we have a breakout. We've been for 2 days above this, which is confirming a breakout that is less strong than the ones that we were been watching on the weekly, which could mean that the momentum is on favor for ONDO to later on, by the end of this week, also confirm a breakout on the weekly, which will be fantastic. The next coin that we're going to review is called Nosana. Last night it had a breakout on the weekly, which is fantastic. I think it's pretty doable to get to an RSI of 63 on the weekly from here. Not to mention that this could come for a retest, so there is some potential downside as well. But this 63 is quite interesting because it was support on the 11th of December and it was resistance on May. So we could come back to that 63 on the RSI. 63 will take us potentially to a price of $5.14. This coin was extremely bullish, making RSIs of 98 and 95. It wouldn't be rare that the next push up is very high, but not as high as these levels that we already saw. Most of the assets that make massive impulsive moves continue putting sometimes all-time highs, but not on the RSI. They start showing what we call diminishing returns. If we were to get something like that, which is absolutely not guaranteed, we could get to a level of 87 RSI. It's also an interesting level around this area. A level of 87 is located at a price of $21, so pretty much that could give you an 872% of profits. Remember, again, this is a very risky move. Trade with a very small fraction. Do never trade a coin like this with money that you cannot afford to lose. This could come for a retest to even 25 if Bitcoin was to put a new low, and a level of 25 on the RSI will completely destroy this recent pump. I also want to review this coin called TON, which belongs to Telegram, and yesterday it was selling out very aggressively. When we look at the weekly, we can see that there is strong support at $4.7, $4.8 twice in a row. We held there, and with last week recent sellout, we tested our support of $5.6. Unfortunately, what this is building at is something that looks quite toppy. You can see that if we expand it a little bit more, or if we look at it on the daily time frame, it looks a lot like a Head and Shoulders to me, and it's threatening with reversing the whole move up until $3 where we have the next level of support. That is if the selling pressure continues. Of course, if there was any reversal on the current approach from the government of France, on the CEO that is currently being processed, that will turn this coin back again into a very bullish move, possibly forming a bullish flag here with a target as high as $19 eventually. That is all subject to this bearish news disappearing. I remember back in the day when I was very excited about peer-to-peer music. They removed Kazaa, they removed Napster, and eventually there was a solution called BitTorrent that was fully distributed, fully decentralized, and that was the last nail in the coffin for the music industry. I was really sad with losing the music industry, but at the same time, I was a huge fan of accessing all the music. And in this case, Telegram is also quite decentralized as a platform, and that is precisely what is pissing off most of the governments, because it's being used not just for positive things, but also for quite negative ones. Yes, it's a vehicle for free speech, but it's also a vehicle for terrorism, drugs, and all other things that we don't want. Just like it was with peer-to-peer music, I wanted access to all the music. I didn't want the music industry to go bankrupt and then not have any artist. And well, unfortunately, technology won at that time. I'm expecting that this time maybe Telegram might go down, but there will be new platforms just like it happened with BitTorrent, where someone is gonna come with a more clever idea than Telegram, maybe a Telegram that doesn't have a CEO, just like Bitcoin, who knows, but that doesn't necessarily is going to help us to pump once again this particular coin, of course. The next coin is called PAAL. I have no idea what is this coin, but it closed right below resistance last night, and this week is in the process of breaking out as well. If we look at the price hasn't broken out yet. I don't have much more information with this, just the fact that it's printing higher lows and bullish divergences, and it seems to be repeating the same plate that we have here, in which case we could see a breakout that takes us to $2. Currently, our support is located at 17 cents. Our final coin is NEAR. You can see that after printing this double top at the top of the range, it failed. It re-entered the range, it tested the range, and now is putting new lows. The moves that we have seen on NEAR recently are quite bearish. We have a strong support at $3.3, and I hope that we start seeing a shift in the structure of the price action, with potentially holding $4.2 and start our way to the top once again. following the rest of the market. That will be my expectation, assuming things continue to be positive in a bull market. If not, if we lose $3.3, we have 2.5 to hopefully come to the rescue and the point of control at $2.2, which should provide very strong support. NIR has a lot of work to do. We have this double top in here. We have also a double top in December, but it's a lot more bullish than many other coins that are currently trading below the range of the past year. And when it comes to the weekly RSI, you can see that we broke out on the weekly, very small breakout, and now we are going sideways, potentially calling for a retest. Guys, I'm currently hosting a position airdrop on Bybit. You trade with $100 and they give you additional $500 to trade for free using the coins in this list. All you have to do is go to the video description, hit the top link to activate this promotion and read the instructions. I also left you a link to open a new account on Bybit. If you use my referral, you can claim up to 30,000 in rewards. Connect your Bybit account to my website and you don't have to pay any of this to access still the same value. You're gonna get access to hundreds of different indicators that you can use to help you navigate the market or to backtest your own strategies. Join my Discord server to have a look at what we are talking about. See if this resonates with you. Maybe you want to learn more about trading or about trading bots. The answer is the same. Join my Discord server and I'll see you there. Take care. Bye-bye.